Hello, it's Rosanna from South East London blog, and today I am with Steve, who is one of the founders of Hatcham House, which is a workspace hub here in New Cross Gate. Now Steve, tell us a bit about Hatcham House.
Well, this is housed behind the old Hatcham Liberal Club, which is a Grade 2 listed building in New Cross Gate. And in the 70s and 80s, there was about 300 members. Mostly it was a drinking men's club. And over the years, unfortunately, the building, which is beautiful, really needed a lot of upkeep, and the membership declined, and a developer took over the front of the property to make flats. But one of the conditions from Lewisham was that they kept a hall, so the developer set this hall up. Different people came and went, and then it was really sort of left empty. So I said to the Liberal Club members, who I'm very grateful for, can't we recreate a membership type club, but in a workspace? And this was just before COVID in 2020. And of course then COVID came, and there's positives and negatives. Negatives is that we were closed for 6 months and almost lost our business. Right. But the positives are, I think that coming out of COVID, we're seeing today, we've got 160 members who want to work locally and find this kind of space locally really, really special.
So what can people expect when they come to Hatcham House?
I think they can expect 3 things, which are really simple. One is affordability. Yeah. I think when people go back to those old WeWork type places, which are £300 a month, and you've got the snooker table and the ping pong, it was great, but it was a bit almost a cliche in itself after a while. And I think money is tight, especially if you've been hit by COVID. If you're a young person, you've been disproportionately hit by COVID. So I think affordability is great, and we have a membership because our licence has to run a membership, but that's just £2.50 a month or £30 a year. Okay. And then when you get a membership, you get the app, and then the app allows you to come here for £12.50 a day, and or 50% for a concession.
So you showed me the app earlier, it looks really great. So there's places where you can book meeting rooms to have your all-important Zoom meetings, or like here behind me, you'll see people working away. And it's a great space because I've been sat here working today and it's very calm. You've got the classical radio on.
Well, and sometimes Radio 6 and things when other people go in. So affordability is one. The second thing, of course, is professionalism. I know that sounds a bit obvious, but actually, just because it's community, it doesn't mean to say it's amateur. Actually, the voluntary sector's done things on a shoestring, and we've done this place up. We've got everything from eBay. We haven't spent a lot of money doing it, but I think people prefer quality, and I say that excellence attracts attention. So this is as good as a WeWork space, but with a social heart. And the third thing, of course, is flexibility. So affordability, quality, flexibility, which is great that people can just say, oh gosh, I can't work from home, the builders are in, or I can't work from home, my kids are here. And you could turn up on the morning having paid, and on a first come, first served basis. We also really, without kind of being pious about it, want to be more community minded. So we do have a kind of purpose here to bring people together from different backgrounds, different experiences. We've got relationships with housing associations that can house people in temporary accommodation and gift them membership. That's a wonderful thing.
That is brilliant.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So what are your plans for the future then? Because you talk very much around the community and kind of building these partnerships and projects. I'd be interested to see kind of where you see that going.
Well, we're in South London here, and Lewisham is what's often called a dormitory borough, that people sleep here because they live here, but they don't work here. They often travel to Canary Wharf or Canada Water or elsewhere. The 2 biggest employers are Goldsmiths and Local Hospital. So my vision would be to try to help Lewisham find other premises that are underused. Pubs are closing, churches may not recover after this COVID, libraries, even police stations. And once they're gone, they're gone. And as Joni Mitchell said, you only ever know what it's got when it's gone. So my vision would be to try to hatch, a bit corny, but we're called Hatcham House, hatch local projects.
Is that where the name came from?
Yeah, well, it's Hatcham House. And,
it's very catchy.
And hatch local is great because we can then, my vision, if you go back to the question, was really trying to think, how do we inspire other people? I'll tell you a funny thing, magpies go around their nest and they steal silver shiny bits. And I would love people to come here and steal the ideas. They're not rocket science, it's about quality, it's about people, it's about giving people a really good service. And if we could develop other hatches across our South London borough, then you're doing really good for the environment because people aren't travelling. You're building they say social capital, it's a posh word for saying building relationships, like you and I haven't met before, but we've got lots in common. And you're also making sure that people who are really struggling to find work come into a supportive environment. So we're doing a lot of work with young people to try to help them think about the soft skills and the creativity to get back into work.
That's great. Now, you say about someone maybe taking the template and setting it up somewhere else. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about either doing a carbon copy of Hatch or maybe starting up their own community place?
Well, I mean, if I was a property person, I'd say location, 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 wouldn't I? And
But people don't have the money. So
No.
if it was me, because I enjoy doing something like this, and I said, right, no, I feel really passionate about this. I've got a little space in Sydenham, I'm going to do it. What would your advice to me be?
Well, I'd say get some set designers in. You know, in the old days, they used to say, let's get a new refit, and it'll cost £150,000. Are you kidding? It would look soulless and it would look a bit too corporate. But actually, if you get particularly young people who've got ideas around their kind of repair shop, fix it to make it sort of approach.
Yeah.
There's things you can do that give it love and character and a boutique nature. So the second thing I'd then do is also look at your market need, because you can't put something and then say people will come. So do your survey, how many people travel to work, who would come to use it, and then use our app, because actually the app is the most important thing, because it brings the flexibility, and people like Uber because it's quick, it's exactly what it does on the tin, you pay it there and then, and that's what our app does. So that would be an absolute showstopper for us, and we can introduce you to the developers who did it for us and use it. Yeah.
There you go. Well, look, it's been great working here today. I've really enjoyed it. Have you got a final message for my readers?
Well, either readers and viewers.
And viewers?
Yeah, I would just say really that thanks for coming down. It's been lovely to meet you. And I think, you know, the future is uncertain. We may go through a very bad period of austerity. We may actually have another COVID outbreak, in which case this model may be broken. So entrepreneurs, if that's what you call me, a social entrepreneur, have to be agile, flexible, always thinking about partnerships. But I think we have a huge opportunity to recalibrate the way people worked. You know, people went on commuting and it was stressful. And do you remember sitting on the Northern Line with your
I've worked in town for years, and I do 5-day a week. And actually, I think being made redundant might have been a really big blessing in disguise, because now I've got my own contracts, I'm working for myself, but there's no way that I'm doing a 5-day a week. If I can come somewhere like this and there's other people here and I can network, you can have those creative conversations, then I think you're onto a winner, really.
Well, I say, you know, it's about productivity. I mean, that when you travel, you weren't very productive. When you did 9 to 5, you were exhausted. So it's less is more. And if people want to come down to Hatcham House, we always give people a 3-day trial. And then if they want to come and sort of copy some ideas, we're here to really help. We have a vision to make sure that people understand what work is in all its dignity. You know, Confucius says, if you love what you do, you don't call it work. Let's reimagine how work can be more social, more purposeful, more ethical, more equal. And Hatcham House could be part of that story.
Lovely. Well, thanks, Steve, and thanks for inviting me down today. And thanks, everyone, for watching.
You're welcome.